Good afternoon. This is Lori Schaller from National Disability Institute. I want to thank you for joining us today for our Assistive Technology Loan Program orientation, where we'll be highlighting the AxioBionics devices that are available to help people. So my contact information is here. I am available until 5 today, usually Monday through Friday from 8 until 5. Feel free to give me a call. My direct line is 202-449-9521. And you're welcome to take a look at our website. Within the next week, we'll have this slide deck and recording available for viewing, so you're welcome to share it with your networks. During today's presentation, if you have questions, please submit them through the Q&A box, and we'll be certain to answer your questions live today. And you can always, like I said, reach back to me in the future as well. If you're listening by phone and not logged into the webinar, you may also ask questions by emailing me at lschaller@ndi-inc.org. Next. So National Disability Institute's vision is a society in which people with disabilities have the same opportunities to achieve financial stability and independence as people who do not have a disability. Our mission is to collaborate and innovate to build a better financial future for people with disabilities and their families. And I would like to direct you to our newest resources all around COVID. And those, of course, are disability specific for people who have a disability, their family members, and providers. So there's information and resources, including financial education and financial coaching, counseling services that are available through that website. And so these are virtual services that we invite you to participate in. Next slide. So the NDI Assistive Technology Loan Program received grant funding for this program back in 2014 through the U.S. Department of Education's Rehabilitation Services Administration. And as part of this, we provide remote assistive technology loan services, including referrals. So we will provide referrals, for example, for grants or other sources of funding that may help people to purchase the assistive technology that they need or to acquire it. We do provide assistive technology loans. We provide financial education in the communities of New Jersey and New York. And you're welcome to take a view of our AT resource guides for New Jersey and New York residents, and that is posted at our website, and the link is posted here. So our loans at present are available from $500 up to $30,000. For those who live in New York State, the interest rate is 6%. We have bought down that interest rate with our financial partner. In New Jersey, the interest rate is 4%. So these loans can be used for the purchase or refinance of assistive technology. So I'm meeting many people, they did not realize when they agreed to a particular payment each month what the interest rate really is for the assistive technology that they've already purchased, whether it be a modified vehicle or a hearing aid or a vision aid, or a standing wheelchair, whatever it may be. So we can refinance those loans. There are no application fees or other fees associated with our loan other than making timely payments for the term of the loan. And like I said, the interest rate is 4 or 6%. And these lending terms are very flexible, allowing people even who do not have a credit history, as long as they are age 18 or older, to access a loan. and it can help that person to develop a credit history or for others to improve their credit history when they make timely loan payments. And our loan program to date has a 100% repayment rate. Next slide. So NDI has partnered with AxioBionics to inform you of the newest assistive technology available. To understand what assistive technology includes, what options for AT services and purchasing options are available to help you obtain the AT that best meets your needs. And like I said, this session is being recorded and will be posted within 1 week at our website so others can view this in the future. Next slide. So what is assistive technology? It's any technology that can help any person with a disability, whether that be a veteran, a senior. A person doesn't need to have like a formal diagnosis of having a disability, but they simply need assistive technology to help them perform tasks as others can do. So more and more throughout our days, all of us are using assistive technology. For example, our smartphones or smart home technology to turn the lights on when we pull up to our home, or if we're away to turn lights on, things of that nature. So AT ranges from hearing and vision aids, smart home systems, scooters, stair climbers, home or vehicle modifications, computers, smartphones, business equipment, and it also includes various types of wheelchairs. And today we are spotlighting AxioBionics, which is a wearable device. Next slide. So I'd like to introduce Josh Schuler, who will inform all of us of the latest technology to help people manage their pain and have freer movement and heal themselves. Josh?
Thank you, Lori, and welcome everybody. It's a great privilege to be able to present to you guys today on AxioBionics wearable therapy. The company has been around for roughly 25 years, but we keep hearing a lot is, why have we never heard of you? Why have we never heard of you? So thankfully, people like Lori has given us the opportunity to be able to educate people on another assistive technology device that is out there and available to people with financing. Most people ask, what is wearable therapy? Well, we design and manufacture customized wearable electrical stimulation systems that works with the body to encourage muscle activity. It works with neurological conditions, chronic pain, spasms, and one of the very first clients was Christopher Reeve, aka Superman, who used one of our super suits for about 9 years. So he was a high-level spinal cord injury, and he had pretty much every system we had at one point or another, and he used it for about 9 years. Over the years, we have been able to treat roughly 3,000 patients with our wearable therapy system, manufacturing over 10,000 garments. Next slide, please. There we go. We are FDA cleared, and indications for use is pain management, relaxation of muscle spasms, maintaining or increasing range of motion, prevention of disuse atrophy, increasing local blood circulation, muscle re-education, and functional electrical stimulation. Next slide. So the neurological conditions that we treat is spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury, post-stroke, cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, hemispherectomy, and chronic pain. That is not limited to it. We have treated all sorts of spinal cord injury from the full spectrum, from C1, C2 completes, all the way down to people suffering from just foot drop or hip weakness, and everywhere in between. Each garment, as you can see David wearing here on his left arm, is custom made for the individual. We take measurements through the evaluation, and none of this is off the shelf. We can make it for any part of the body, whether it's arm, legs, neck, chest, back, lower extremity, one side or the other. Next slide, please. So the benefits of wearable therapy, and this is an example of the biosleeve. So probably post-stroke, traumatic brain injury, even spinal cord injury. The classic presentation is the flexed arm, as you can see in the untreated picture, where the biceps are in spasms, the finger flexors are in spasms. By applying electrical stimulation to the triceps and wrist extenders, we're able to straighten the arm. It relaxes this muscle spasms, improves circulation, decreases muscle atrophy, and with the arm in more of an anatomical, natural, functional position, it encourages arm usage. We are currently in the middle of a study where, based on just the biosleeve, the self-reported usage was 8%, and after 2.5 years of using the biosleeve, the usage increased to 43% on average. So that's a huge increase. Next slide. So the problem is the muscle imbalance between the biceps and the triceps. Like I said before, the biceps are in spasms, and the triceps, or the back of the arm, lays dormant, atrophy with diminished voluntary control. By stimulating the triceps, we're able to relax the muscle of the biceps and straighten out the arm and put it in more of a functional position. And this can be done.
Josh,
Yep.
I have a question for you. So, like with this device, after a period of time, does the person no longer need to wear the device all day long to have that relaxed arm function, for example?
Great question. That is dependent on the person's situation and the severity of the injury also. We've had people in situations like pain and spasms that they're getting treated for a part of their body for pain and spasms, where they can taper off the use after a period of time. A lot of times post stroke, TBI, or spinal cord injury, they will have to become part of their daily routine for a long period of time, if not forever, because there is a high rate of regression, just like with traditional therapy and other treatments, that if you stop using it, there is a chance of regression. And that doesn't necessarily mean your arm, after using it a period of time, will go back to where it was before, but you may take a half a step backwards if you stop using it. The nice thing about our garments is you can do other functional activities while you're wearing it. So, for example, if you're wearing the bio sleeve for the upper extremity, you can go about your normal activities and just wear it throughout the day, upwards of 8 hours a day. Next slide, please. So the AxioBionic benefit, it's no drugs. Our electrodes we use are not the adhesive, sticky electrodes that everybody is used to with electrical stimulation. We have developed gel-based electrodes that are fitted right into the product. So this is our BioShort X. So these are used to stimulate your butt muscles, your thigh muscles, front and back. And the reusable electrodes, our electrodes are reusable up to 5 to 10 years. We have people use them. So they're built right into the product, so you don't have to worry about electrode placement. They're consistently placed in the same location every single time for use. It's easy to put on by caregivers. Other treatment, like let's say the FES bike is a challenge for caregivers or patient to set up, and you're limited in the amount of time you can use it to like 30 minutes. We have people, like I said before, using ours upwards of 8 hours a day and night. We had several patients who use the bio shorts at sleep at night to control their pain and spasms, and then they don't have to wear them during the day, and they don't have pains and spasms. So that's a big one. It's the ease of putting on, and the results increase better compliance. And like I said before, it boosts therapy time from at home, or if you're traveling or wherever, 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Next slide. As I said before, a minute ago, the muscle stimulation with the wearable therapy gives unprecedented muscle therapy time. So traditional therapy, and I'm a physical therapist by trade, so I know the benefits of physical and occupational therapy, but there also are limitations based on insurance, coverage, and time you can be in a clinic with, roughly maybe 36 hours of in-clinic therapy time a year. If you were to use our devices for 7 hours a day, you're going to get over 4,000 hours of therapy time per year. You use that in combination with traditional therapy. Now, traditional therapy can work on more functional activities with you, or progression, because you're also getting the benefits at home too. Next slide, please. So this is what I referenced earlier, is the study on arm usage, and we're in the process of getting this finished up to get it published, but the arm usage was 8% on average, and it increased after a little over 2.5 years to 43%. The average therapy time that they spent in therapy was 14 years versus the 2.5 with us, and this was based on 7 hours of therapy time per day. So if you're going to use it 1 hour a day, you won't see as much benefits as you see if it was 7 or 8 hours a day. And that's common with any kind of exercise or therapy situation. Next slide. So here is Drew. Drew is a C1, C2 spinal cord injury. The picture on the left is Drew within 6 months to a year of his spinal cord injury. The one on the right is Drew 10 years later. So Drew has no voluntary movement of his arms or legs. And look at, after 10 years, the definition in his arms in this picture. He was a student at the University of Michigan, and he did not have time to go to traditional therapy right after his injury because he was caregivers and he went to school. So all he did was use our products, and you can see him here wearing the vest. That is one of our products. And he used the arm sleeve, the shorts, the legs, everything. And if you didn't know his situation, you just looked at him. He has good muscle definition in his arms and his legs. And in 10 years post-injury, he has not lost. He's actually gained quite a bit of muscle tone and prevented the atrophy. And his legs, we had to tone down the electrical stimulation because his legs got too musculature for the caregivers to successfully transfer him. So we did have to tone it down at one point. But he wears the lower extremity biosleeve at night when he sleeps for about 4 hours, and that gives him constant ankle movement, dorsiflexion and plantar flexion throughout the night. In the 10 years that he's post-injury, he has been in the hospital for one episode and that was a fluke swallowing incident. So if you know anything about spinal cord injury, you know their hospitalization rate is quite high. For him to only have one in the last 10 years is very impressive. And just like you can see, his tone and muscles are very impressive. Next slide. So the BioVest, here's an example of another one of our products. It can be used for chronic upper, middle, and lower back pain. If you see the gray strips going down the spine on each side of the spine, that's where the electrodes are stored. And then the gray pouch at the bottom is where the wiring and everything is. And there's just one cord that comes out and attaches to the stimulator there. These are great for trunk weakness, spasms, pain, and we customize it for whatever area and how many electrodes you need for that area to control the pain or improve muscle atrophy. The biggest takeaway from this slide is it's lightweight, it's durable. You can wear your shirt over top of it without any issues. Next slide. This is what we call our bio belt, and this is strictly for low back pain, but it does have an abdominal panel that you can't see in the front as a optional piece to help with contraction of the abdominal muscles, which a lot of times in spinal cord injury and other conditions, you don't have active contraction of your abdominal muscles, and that will help contract them. But the bio belt from this view is mainly for low back pain. As you can see, the electrode placement can be customized for different types of low back pain, whether it's left side or right side, across, or in a centralized area. We can organize the electrodes based on the pain presentation. And that is done through an evaluation that we do on each person before any kind of purchase is made. And the bio belt allows for good movement, but it also controls pain and muscle spasms with abdominal contractions for the optional abdominal panels. And the BioBelt LSO comes in several different sizes depending on the size of the person and their waist, hips, etc. Next slide, please. So this is the bio belt, but the biggest takeaway from here is the 4 squares that you see inside the belt are actually the gel-based electrodes. They're Velcroed on, they can be shifted for pain if it changes or if it's just not getting the right location of the pain. And as I stated earlier, the electrodes last 5 to 10 years. And they can be shifted to cover any part of the back. It's easy to put on. It's all Velcroed on. And the advantage of all of this, but especially the bio belt, it invokes the body's ability to suppress pain and muscle spasms. You can do activities with it on. I have one. I go golfing with mine on, and I have no pain with it. The dosage of stimulation can be adjusted depending on your pain level for that day, whether it's dull ache or sharp pain. And the bio belt can treat a large area of pain, and it is non-pharmacological and non-invasive, so there's no side effects from it. We did just have a low back pain using the bio belt study that was published recently, and the pain at rest went from a 6.5 out of 10 down to a 2 out of 10 on average with 69 participants. And with activity, it went from almost a 9 out of 10 down to a 3 out of 10. And this 1/3 of the participants were able to abolish their pain 100%. And this is just for low back pain, but we also treat pain for the neck, arms, legs, trunk, you name it. They can be specifically adjusted for that area. Next slide, please. as I just stated here, one of the I did not say was the fast relief of pain. So, like in my situation and several others that we have sold the belts to, is once they put the belt on, they are getting immediate pain relief. So whether it's decreasing it by 30% or abolishing it, they are getting instantaneous pain relief, which is a good thing. Next slide, please. So the process with AxioBionics is we offer everybody a free phone consultation where we'll set up a phone call with you to discuss your needs and whether wearable therapy is a viable option for you. If you decide you want to pursue an evaluation, there is an evaluation fee. It's roughly $300, and that can be applied towards the purchase of the product if necessary. But we are FDA cleared, so we get the physician to sign off on the evaluation, and then we will set up whether it's in person or we have developed now the capacity to do Zoom evaluations for people out of state or that are not willing to travel or able to travel. So we set up a Zoom evaluation where we send you a stimulator and electrodes, and we will stimulate the muscles and see how you relate or respond to our stimulator. You get to use the stimulator and the sticky electrodes for upwards of 30 days. If at that time you are wanting to purchase the product, then we will get measurements, and depending on how many electrodes there are and the size and the what it is, like the bio belt is roughly between right around $1,200, and it can go all the way up to $7,000 for a piece of equipment. We do offer some discounts depending on if it's self-pay in the person's situation. As far as insurance coverage, Medicare and Medicaid do not cover our products at this time. It is considered experimental, and private insurance is very hit and miss with their coverage. We work well with the VA, auto, work comp, TRICARE, those types. That is why people like Lori and the assistive technology loan programs are of such a great benefit to people who are looking into like wearable therapy and other things. The one nice thing about the AxioBionics wearable therapy is we follow you clinically from day one throughout the whole lifespan of using the product. So initially we might meet with you through Zoom or a phone call weekly. Then as you get more comfortable with it and you're doing well with it, it goes to monthly, but we still cover or contact you every 3 months to make sure everything is going well with it. The last thing we would want anybody want to do is to invest in something like this and not use it. Also, through the trial period, you will know exactly the results that you should expect every single time you use it, whether it's pain control or muscle stimulation or contraction of the muscles. We will know that ahead of time. So that wraps up my portion of this. You can get a lot more information at www.axiobionics.com on the screen there. You can email myself or Philip, who is our other clinician, but he's also the owner and founder and inventor of most of this stuff. So we are welcome for questions at this time if anybody has any questions.
So Josh, someone submitted a question. Are you able to wear these devices and drive a car, for example?
Yes, let's take the bio belt, for example. I wear mine if I'm going on a long drive or trip, and no problem. The lower extremity bio sleeve, probably not on your right leg because you don't want that contracting and relaxing on your on the accelerator or
Right.
brake. But the
Okay.
shorts, we have people wear them. The vest we do, the biosleeve. So most of it, yes, will not interfere with driving. The contraction is not
Okay.
so intense where you know, are worried about that.
And are these devices okay, like near a microwave oven, for example?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
And what happens, like, if a sending unit fails?
Did you say it
I
fails?
don't know if that's ever, yes, if that's ever happened. It
No.
shorts out or
But
something.
if something go like, let's say somebody drops the stimulator and it shatters, obviously that's not
Okay.
the stimulator's fault. But if a wire comes, breaks off or frays and it's just nothing that the person did, we will fix that.
Okay. That's great. So the person would like ship that back to you and it would be repaired and then returned again.
Correct.
Okay. So when someone really would benefit from the whole body suit, how much might that run?
If they were going to get, and that would depend on their situation, because we would run, if it's a self-pay situation, we would run it through what we call the Axial Charitable Foundation, and they get a
Okay.
chance of possibly 20 to 50% off at that point. But I mean, if we're looking at both arm sleeves, vest, bio belt, shorts, and then bilateral leg sleeve, you're looking at probably $25 to $30,000 total.
Okay. Well, in my mind, to be able to keep your body moving and the health benefits, that's very affordable. I mean, it's amazing to me.
In the big picture of things, yes, because if you take the amount of money spent in hospitalizations or medications for pain, etc., it far far exceeds that in a given year. And this is a one-time cost that you know
Yeah.
they're going to be using this for the next 10 years at the same at one-time cost.
Right. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So, Josh, please stay on this presentation, and I want to invite people, as questions come to mind, please put your questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, because we want to make sure Josh has a chance to answer your questions. And we're going to move forward at this time with some more NDI information. Okay, next slide. Oh, and there's one more question, Josh. So,
Yeah.
can you share with people, like, now I understand you're a user of this device. That's huge. So you personally know, the difference it has made. And can you share, like, your background and what services you provide associated with the AxioBionics?
Yeah, first I'll just touch on my back pain. I've had chronic low back pain for probably 15 years, to the point where, if I did yard work or went golfing, I would be laid up for a day to a week or so afterwards. And since I've used the bio belt, I'm able to golf pain free, do yard work pain free before, after, and during. So yeah, I always joke with the owner, Philip. I say, if you fire me today, do I get to keep the belt? And that would be my biggest issue. But no, I am a physical therapist for the last 18 years. I've been in a variety of settings: orthopedic, outpatient, some inpatient, in home. And one of my patients had one of the biosleeves post stroke, and I was amazed at what it was doing for her. So I contacted Philip, and we started talking, and one thing led to another, and I was hired. So my role is variable. I am one of the clinicians, so I can do the evaluations, fittings, and all the follow-ups. I'm also doing the marketing and sales and helping out with the research too and product development.
Wow, that's great. Okay. So Josh had shared with us their charitable fund and how that can help to reduce out-of-pocket expenses for the purchase of the AxioBionics. There are also grants available for residents of New Jersey and New York, so we invite you to take a look at our website to see what we suggest. And you're welcome to give me a call, and I can help you to narrow it down. Of course, we can use our personal savings to make that purchase. For those who have a disability and the onset occurred prior to age 26, ABLE accounts are available for people who have a Social Security number or have a tax filing number. And the person can invite family and friends to contribute to their ABLE account. That is not countable income for that ABLE account owner, even if that person, for example, receives SSI or Medicaid. And those funds could be used to purchase assistive technology, including the AxioBionics. So we invite you to take a look at our website, the ABLE National Resource Center. That's ablenrc.org to learn more. And all of those ABLE accounts are opened online, and it takes about 15 minutes to put in all the different passwords to protect your account that you would need. And you can begin savings in that ABLE account as soon as possible. For those who receive SSI and or SSDI, there are work supports that allow a person to purchase assistive technology, including the AxioBionics. If you need that to be able to work, particularly at a higher level than what you've been able to work at to date, there is, of course, the PASS plan, and we have a link here, passonline.org, where you can learn more about that opportunity that allows a person to continue to receive their SSI and, in some cases, their SSDI while they are working or going to school, to be able to purchase what they need to be able to move forward to work at a higher level in the future and reduce or eliminate the use of SSI, SSDI, because the person will be earning so much more money by moving forward. Then for those who receive SSI, SSDI, there is the impairment-related work support expense. So this, again, would qualify. You would simply submit the request to Social Security Administration, and that would reduce your countable income for the month that you are making payments, for example, on an AxioBionics device that is helping you to work. So then, in conjunction with the ABLE account or the SSI, SSDI work supports, a person can also apply for a loan through the NDI Assistive Technology Loan Program. So our interest rate is low, so it's going to help you to purchase that at an affordable rate. And of course, you can submit those monthly expenses to Social Security Administration through either the IRWI or the PASS work supports. And of course, a person who has an ABLE account can use their ABLE account funds to make monthly payments to the NDI Assistive Technology Loan Program, so that over time the person would own that device. The loan application is posted online, and we have another recorded orientation session that goes over how to create a spending plan and really how to complete that loan application. And that has really ensured that people can afford the assistive technology that they're purchasing, as evidenced by our 100% repayment rate. Okay, next slide. So, National Disability Institute has contracted with banks to provide these affordable loans for the purchase of assistive technology. So these lending terms are very favorable. A person doesn't even need to have a credit score to qualify for one of our loans. The interest rate, we've brought that interest rate down so that that financial institution is being paid by NDI to issue the loan to loan applicants, and that has lowered the interest rate for you, the end user. The loans are made payable directly to the AT vendor. So, for example, in this case, a check would be written out to AxioBionics and to the loan applicant, so that when you receive your device, you can then send the check in to AxioBionics to ensure that they are paid and that your device is working. NDI requires the completion of a spending plan. We urge that just because it will help you to know or to identify money within your household that you can afford these monthly payments. Borrowers have the opportunity to develop or improve their credit with timely payments made directly to the servicing bank. Next slide. So we want to be able to verify your income, and we need additional materials in addition to the loan application. For example, a photo ID. If you have sources of income that help you to pay for rent, like HUD assistance, that Section 8 award letter, maybe your income comes from retirement, so the retirement statement may be from Social Security Administration. Maybe you receive a pension disbursement, a statement regarding that. If your only source of income is SSI and or SSDI, that is fine. Just send us that annual award letter so that we understand that that is your source of income. Provide any other source of income for the loan applicant or applicants. And if you wish to make automatic payments from your checking account, avoid a check for establishing that ACH loan payment. Next slide. We will pull your credit report here at NDI, and I will review that with you. And if you're concerned about what might be listed on your credit report, you can go to annualcreditreport.com to see what is listed on your credit report, because your insurance company knows, your employer may know, you may as well know what's listed on your credit report. And if you wanted a copy of your credit score in addition to your credit report, you could go to creditkarma.com. And if you're concerned that accounts are showing up on your credit report that you do not owe, you can dispute those items, and directions are provided through creditkarma.com. And we're hoping that that will help you. But you can also reach out to me and discuss those concerns too. And all of your information, of course, is confidential. Next slide. So what is the loan review process? So when I receive someone's loan application and I have copies of like heat, electric, telephone, cable bills, and we know what your monthly expenses are and what your sources of income are, and we've reviewed your credit report together, and you tell me you're ready for your loan application to be submitted, a summary of your loan application is prepared and it's shared with our loan committee. So 50% of the loan committee members have a disability themselves, or they use assistive technology. And they do not know any of your PII information, so they don't know your name. They may know that you live in New Jersey. That's about as much as we drill down. What type of assistive technology you wish to purchase, how much your income is, what your monthly expense total is, if you have any outstanding credit, what the status of that is, and they make the decision whether or not the loan application is pre-qualified. And when you tell me that your application is ready, we meet that day or the next day to expedite this process so you can then have your pre-qualified application sent to the appropriate financial institution. that may ask you for some additional information, but generally the process takes 1 to 2 days once we've received your loan application. So we're trying to expedite this because like this device can make a huge difference for anyone who is in pain, who needs a more extended range of motion. It can mean the difference between a good day and a bad day and being able to work in many cases. Next slide. So I know that many assistive technology vendors offer financing themselves, and it takes like 5 minutes to qualify for the financing. When I meet people, they have no idea what interest rate they may have purchased, for example, a modified vehicle. So I spoke with someone the other day. They got a used car. They had no clue that the interest rate was 24% interest. So I urged them to apply with our loan program to refinance that loan so that they're going to be saving about $16,000 over the course of their loan repayment term. So I welcome you to share that with your customers. I know many of you participating today are providers that provide services to individuals who have disabilities, seniors, veterans. Please share the availability of our loan program. So this gives you here, this chart, an idea of how much potentially you could save. So an AT vendor at 16% interest for a $10,000 loan over a 5-year term, that monthly payment is $243. If the person uses their credit card to purchase that and they're going to pay for $10,000 over 5 years at 24% interest, the monthly payment's $287 a month. With the NDI AT loan, the monthly payment is only $193. So this person could be saving $3,000 or more by going through our assistive technology loan program. Next slide. So, like I said, on average, this process takes 2 days, but I urge people to take your time in selecting assistive technology that best meets your needs. And if you have questions about different assistive technology, I will direct you to AT demonstration sites in your community so you can try out assistive technology. It's great to hear that AxioBionics allows you to try out the device to make sure it's going to work for you before you make the purchase. This is wonderful. So take your time in doing that. And then when you're sure you want to make that purchase, reach out to us and we will quickly move this request along so you can purchase the device you need. Next slide. This is my contact information. You're welcome to give me an email, send me an email today, to give me a call. You can find our assistive technology information available at the National Disability Institute website. So that link is assistivetechloans.com. And we are available to do presentations for your group virtually. We're hoping we can meet with you in person again as we have in the past. But I'm here in New York State and I'm able to help residents of New York State and New Jersey. If you are from another state, please go to our website and you can see our listing of all the alternative financing programs available across the United States to help people from other states. So I don't see any questions that have come in. Again, I want to welcome you. We have 10 more minutes. We would love to answer any questions that you have at this time. Just type it into the Q&A box. I thank you for participating today. Josh, did you want to share additional information with our viewers today?
Just that, once again, our website, www.axiobionics.com, is a great way to contact us. My email, Philip's email, just to have a conversation that is free of charge about your situation and how possibly the wearable therapy can assist you.
Great. So I don't see more questions at this time. So I hope, Josh, that your email box is being loaded. And we thank you very, very much for your time in presenting today.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now.